particular areas that you couldn't access in the middle of it, like these, like here. Like, there's just so much more thought that goes into like how to make the game fun, how to make places feel unique, and I think what makes this a really good game is the fact that you know, it is clear that they put a ton of thought, and they didn't just go into it being like, okay, this is basically just going to be like a straight remake. We're going to upscale the graphics, whatever. But of course, they could not do that because they would get their... It would go over terribly if they just did that.
Yeah, if they did that...
If they did a Chrono Cross remaster to Final Fantasy VII, they would hate that.
Yeah, and talking about that sort of remaster, they just did one for Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition, and like that's like the laziest like remaster I've ever seen. It's like they put all the art assets into like an AI upscaler, and everything looks blurry, and the game runs terribly. It's like I just can't believe they did it.
Actually, it doesn't. I don't think it looks bad actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it just depends on.
I didn't run into any performance things, but actually, I bought it. I played it for like 20 minutes to like do the controls and everything, and then I went back to playing Elden Ring. So, but I'll get back to it eventually.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up once they maybe fix some stuff.
Yeah,
but
let's see if they do it. They did it for Chrono Trigger at least, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the full remake treatment.
And I'm quite interested to read the that one game. What's it called? Just Radical Dreamers.
Radical Dreamers.
Yes, the Satellaview game. I've never actually read it, even though it's been fan translated for years.
Yeah, I don't think I have either. Maybe. No, I don't. If I did, I can't recall, so it'll be worth revisiting. Jesse, come on.
If I couldn't, believe me, you'd be the first to know.
I'll take that as a yes.
God, why are they so snarky? Fine. I mean, granted, like anything.
Pretty cool. All right, come on.
Yeah, Cloud has a weird thing where he's a soldier, he's a superhuman basically, but sometimes he can like jump in the air like 50 feet, and then some other times he can't like jump over like a 2-foot fence. And it's like...
It's so weird. Like, outside of combat, he really has not demonstrated any superhuman qualities until that moment.
Yeah.
So.
And there's just sometimes when, like, it's pretty normal, and then once you get to the end, he starts flying through the air. It's like, okay.
Yeah, of course.
And with nothing but a few scratches to show. Think you might have overdone it?
I followed the instructions to the letter. Maybe it triggered a reaction with the Mako?
Well,
by the way, can we talk about the pronunciation of Mako?
I've always said Mako. Do you say Mako?
I was a Mako man.
Yeah, I might have said Mako when I was younger. I'm not sure. I think Mako sounds better.
That beach is down there.
All right then, lead the way.
You got it.
Yeah, I guess I said, can we talk about it, and then you said basically everything I was going to say. So. Really nothing else to say. I was wrong.
Watch out for live wires. They're everywhere.
But going from a game that has no voice dialogue to fully voiced, we're going to come across this stuff. Although, same happens with Final Fantasy X with one specific example.
Although, Ben, it's not FF7 related, but are you a Titus guy or a Titus guy?
Yeah, I was just bringing that up.
For me, I always say Titus.
I said Titus.
Titus is the canonical pronunciation, and I hate it.
Well, first of all, I never talk about that game, so it never gets brought up. But if it does, I try to stay canon.
Was it the Mako density?
The following game you are about to play is canon.
Yeah. And like I said, I actually really like Tifa, but I always say Tifa. It's just ingrained into my childhood.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have to bring a little pick-me-up. That's about as good a place as any.
loading screens, basically.
Yeah, Ben, you're gonna see this over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Well, when I first played this game, I was like, maybe a couple hours in, I was like, is this the 4th or 5th time we're like going through like, what's the word, sidling through a little passage? And then Trevor was like, hey, you notice those loading screens? I was like, oh yeah. There's one that's really obvious when you're in, I think it's where all the kids are, Trev. Is that Sector 5? Where all those kids hang out?
Oh yeah, when you get to their hideout.
There's
thing.
this kid's hideout, and it's the most obvious loading screen ever, because, like, you
sidle for, like, 10, 15 seconds.
Literally. And then, like, there's this huge area in it, and you're like, oh, look at that.
That's cool.
I mean, is it better than a traditional loading screen? I think so.
Yeah, at least it's less immersion breaking,
Yeah.
but when you start to notice it, and it's funny because in Intergrade they barely exist. I remember it happening like once or twice because you just don't need the programming it for the PS4 anymore.
Solid state drives, though.
No way.
This couldn't have been us, could it?
But what if it was?
What's done is done.
Give me my money.
It ain't pretty, but we can't stop now. This was just the first reactor, and the planet won't be safe till we get the rest.
Yeah. We always knew this was gonna
Who
get
does Biggs remind me of his look? I guess just any anime character.
Yeah, anime man.
Anime, yeah, literally anime man.
Nothing worth fighting for was ever won without sacrifice. Though you may not be crying out, I know you're in pain, just like the planet.
So when I was like, I guess when I first played this game 25 years ago when I was like 7 to 10 years old, I was like, man, Barrett's weird. And now I'm like, that feel when I get it, Barrett.
Your concerns, yes, your feet.
Whenever it's like 80 degrees one day in Pennsylvania and 40 degrees the next, I'm literally like, the planet's dying, Cloud.
Yep.
So, what's our next
And
move?
people are just like, oh, that crazy Pennsylvania weather. And I'm like, shouldn't really be
It
8.
was not this way. It seems more intense.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, it's 30 in April. That's not global warming." And it's like you don't understand how anything works.
It was literally 80, like, what was that? Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah, it was so not. Even Saturday was like 70s.
And then Sunday was like 40.
Yeah.
So it was literally went from 80 to 40 in like a 2 to 3 day span. That's not, to me, that's not normal.
I maybe my memory's just poor, but I don't remember the temperature swings being that extreme.
That's how I feel.
like.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure there's actual data that could tell you otherwise or, you know, confirm it,
I
but
need to tell you what this is, right?
I have 10 of those equipped right now.
You can have it for saving my life.
Just doing my job.
I like the idea because they make it like into like an actual like
Fact is, I'm lucky you were there.
physical thing in this game. I like the idea of just like having a bunch of these materia balls in your pocket and
Yeah.
being like,
Survival can be
oh yeah, hold on.
And the weird thing is that, I mean, he's holding a ball that's like a baseball, but you see
And
the
yeah,
materia and
I
the
was
Buster Sword are way
Going to
smaller.
point that out.
Yeah.
It is really awesome that what materia you have in your sword is actually visible.
So cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I was only trying to help. Oh, before I forget, here's a little something extra for being so brave.
Oh?
There really was
A
a
kiss
right
on the
lifetime.
cheek?
Well,
Maybe.
see you on the train.
Dang,
fair.
an item I can't use. Oh, by the way, Cloud is being so annoying about 1,000 gil. Look how much gil I have. It's on the bottom left. 1 million.
Yeah. Wait, did he take this job for 1,000 gil?
Basically, yeah.
What a moron.
Goodbye.
Well-
2 Phoenix Downs.
Cloud is weird. I mean,
He's a
even Wedge.
complicated, tragic character who loves Tifa.
Yeah, Wedge even mentioned it, that, like, him doing this for money makes absolutely zero sense. So he's kind of just doing it as a front.
Trev and I were talking last time that we're so glad that Cloud may not be perfect in this, and they're never going to quite get it the way he was in the original FF7, where it was like a lot of sarcasm, a lot of aloofness. But we're so happy it's not Kingdom Hearts Cloud or like FF7 Advent Children.
Yeah.
If it was that, I might not have been able to play the game.
Honestly, when I bought this game 2 years ago, I was sort of expecting it to be like Advent Children tier, and I was like sort of dreading playing the game, even though I bought it day one. But like when I saw it, I was like, this is good. It's not perfect, but it's good.
It's a nice in between. So he still has like
Who's that?
Who dat?
I do think that this game has too much Sephiroth, but
I've heard about
Yeah, I
you.
feel like they brought out that image way too soon.
yeah.
What's in the first?
But like, since there's no calm flashback in this, are you just not gonna have Sephiroth?
in the first
at all?
FF7, when do you first see Sephiroth? Is there like a single like time he appears on screen before Shinra HQ?
He doesn't even like appear on screen in the Shinra HQ. Like he kills the president.
Off screen.
And he has the sword through him, but I don't think you actually see him at all.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think
You do.
he's mentioned a couple times.
No, you do see him. He slashes the container that has Genova in it.
Yep.
That's right.
So
but you're hidden for that. Yeah,
He's there very briefly, and I think that's the only time you see him.
Yeah.
Walking.
You know what? And I'm okay with that because you see him, and then you do all those boss fights, and then you're like, who is he? And like, you learn through Barrett, who's like, Cloud, I'm really confused. And it's like, all right, here's this guy, and it's so perfect that like you almost get to play as him, like 15 minutes later, you know?
Yeah, and Sephiroth is like, you get to know him at the very end of Midgar in the Shinra HQ, and like by the time you're leaving Midgar, you're like, okay, Sephiroth's the ultimate objective now. It's paced perfectly.
Yep. Also, unlike some characters like Kefka, where you're just like, wow, he's just a really good bad guy. Like, he's just a bad guy.
This sounds awful, by the way, the noise.
Yeah. Sephiroth,
Yeah,
you like feel for him.
Cloud goes through these Mako poisoning things like way too often in this game.
Right, Ben? I'm not the only one, right? Or am I just
Well, I'm sorry, Cloud's just asked something that he didn't believe to be real. If, he said, you're not real. But if he wasn't real, then, like, it's not going to answer.
Rip.
Or it'll lie to you.
Our beloved planet is dying
Like, you're just imagining things, bud.
silently.
But, sorry, what were you talking about?
Oh no, I was just saying that like I'm not the only one who like feels bad for Sephiroth, right? Like maybe not the whole way through, like when he calls Meteor and stuff, but when like you learn of the flashback and like what he had to go through in Genova and stuff like that. Obviously, there's a point where it's too far.
And
But
he's honestly like a tragic villain because he's just so deluded. He is the most deluded person. He thinks Genova is an ancient and Genova's not. It's just everything has gone wrong with his like just entire life. But like it could have been prevented possibly by like explaining to him instead of just like ignoring the entire problem and then him finding it later in the manner. But later.
then there's no game.
Which is why I must ask you this one.
Then there's a game where FF7's final boss is Hojo.
It's a simple thing.
I mean, ultimately, the major actual antagonist of FF7 is Hojo. He, like, creates everything that ultimately is the ultimate threats of the planet.
It's kind of a shame that the two big scenes with Hojo where you learn how bad he really is are, like, non-essential. Like, when you go visit, what's her name, Lucretia, in that cave. And especially when you go into the,
Yeah, the whole Vincent being optional and, like, the Lucretia thing being incredibly hidden, it's, like, it's really cool, but it's unfortunate that it wasn't, like, more woven into the main plot to, like, not be avoidable.
Icicle Inn, is that what they call it? The thing in the Northern Hemisphere where...
I think so.
But anyway, like, I don't think you have to go into that one place and view the tape of
No.
Hojo
No,
being
not
bad
at
to
all.
Lucretia. And, like, that sucks because you're like, oh, this Hojo guy's annoying. But then, like, you realize, like, oh my god, he's, like, friggin' awful.
Actually, if I had to say the main antagonist of Final Fantasy VII, the game would not exist without this, is toxic masculinity.
I mean, yeah, sounds like Hojo all day, every day. Ben's just saying stuff and I'm trying to agree. I guess, yeah.
I mean, Hojo does father Sephiroth, so it is literal
And
masculinity.
he's a terrible father figure.
Yes, he is.
Man, what a
Yes, he
mess.
is. Actually, the if I really think about it, the actual antagonist is Palmer, because he wouldn't get him his tea, you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Wait, Sid's not in this game, right?
No. No, he doesn't show up at all, I don't think.
Not yet.
Shira, get him his beep tea!
Wait for part 2.
Hey, maybe by the time Trevor's done with this LP, it'll be out.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I do have some time saves in mind of skipping some things. Honestly, I want to skip the entire chapter with the motorcycle soldier guy and going above the plate.
Oh, here he is.
But I guess I'll show it off.
But Ben can't see that then.
Yeah, I'll show it all off.
You are too weak to save anyone.
Like his snake eyes. Like literal eyes of a snake.
Or a cat.
Or a cat.
Are you okay?
I can't wait to fight the Midgar
You
Zolom.
okay?
I can't wait to efficiently dodge him using techniques I learned
Let's
from a
go.
YouTube video.
Let's go.
A flower?
That's right. It's a gift.
With this game's sense of scale,
Give those things away.
in part 4 or whatever, when they finally
Never mind.
deliver the
Think of it
weapons,
as a memento.
it's gonna be insanity.
Just my luck.
I don't even know how they would do that with an active battle thing. Like fighting something as big as
How much?
Well, that depends on.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, the biggest things you fight are, like, some of the mechs. You fight Bahamut,
It's on the house.
but, like, nothing even close to the scale of the weapon.
So what would you just hit their feet over and over
I mean,
again?
imagine the, what's the big mech called? That you-
Prod Clod?
Yeah,
Proud Clod?
Proud Clod. Like,
That
that
name always confuses
I know. You want to say Prod Cloud, right?
I want to say Proud Cloud,
Yeah, that's true.
but it's
Is that what you're all worked
stupid.
up about?
But yeah, that thing's huge.
Yep.
No one's going to attack you. I promise.
Oh, you have no idea,
The
Aerith.
reactor just blew. You shouldn't be
Stop
out here
it.
trying to sell me.
Here's the first divergence of the main timeline.
It's the DTs.
What are these things called in Harry Potter?
Torment.
Tormentors.
Tormentors?
No, it's Dementors.
Dementors. Here's the Dementors.
What are they?
Dementors.
I love not knowing something that like would make someone mad. Like if I was just sitting here like, what are those things called? And someone watching's like, some friggin' Dementors, and you're like, just don't know.
You know, you're right.
It is really fun to pretend to not know stuff too that you do know.
Nice meeting you.
Whenever people really like anime, I make sure to pronounce all of them wrong. Like if someone's like, I like Naruto, I'm like, I like Naruto too. I don't like Naruto.
I like Princess Monkey.
Not bad.
My neighbor Totaro.
Tataro.
It's
That's what I say.
Good. Best children's movie I've seen in a while? Probably Panya.
Wait, it's Mazazaki, right? That's the guy who makes
Yeah,
it?
Mazazaki.
How can you pronounce that wrong?
I mean, Miyazaki?
Miyazaki. There we go. Miyazaki. There we
Oh,
go.
I
That's
thought,
what it is.
I thought
I'm
that-
sorry.
I thought that was the bit. You played it off perfectly.
I did. What about Neon Genesis?
Evangelion.
Evangelion. I like that. Oh, so I've been trying to watch more like old school anime. So I watched like Fist of the North Star and Akira, and I like randomly found on YouTube TV Evangelion was on it, and I was like, Trev, I'm really confused, and it ended up that what I was watching, because I thought it was just like a movie. And it ended up what I was watching was the end of Evangelion, when like it's literally like the final movie after like a 25 episode series. And I was like, Trev, I don't get this. And he was like, are you watching the series or the movie? I was like, a movie? He was like, stop watching it right now.
You can't be doing that.
Even with full context of that movie, it's still...
I didn't finish it or anything, but even
Actually,
like...
you know what? You might be better off with no context.
I was like, oh. And then I think I didn't watch the series, but I want to. And then one day we were playing a Mobile Suit Gundam game, and he explained Gundam, and I was like, wow, I'm never gonna watch that.
Gundam's way less complicated than,
Yes, but it's way shorter. Evangelion's way shorter. It's like 20 episodes.
Yeah. But also Gundam is like mostly just like completely separate stories other than the first couple series.
That's true.
I have to admit, as soon as someone describes what an anime series is about or the plot, like, my actual desire to watch it plummets to about 0. I had a friend who tried to explain, like, One Piece to me, like 7 years ago.
How do you explain something with like 900 episodes?
Yeah, and this was 7 years ago.
What, it had 700 episodes?
And I had expressed no desire to watch it or know what the plot was. But she just kept going on, and I was like, that sounds cool.
So, listen, Boruto is Naruto's son. I think that's right. And it's like, Sasuke, I literally, like, I know enough anime to know which, you know those art pieces that we carry at the store?
Yeah.
I know enough to be like, that's a character I recognize. Sasuke versus Naruto. Yeah, I'm gonna order this. That's the max that I know.
Oh, hey Trevor, I still have your Cowboy Bebop Blu-ray.
Oh, dude, I was going because I'm packing everything because I have to move. And I noticed that my Cowboy Bebop, I had the slipcover, but not the actual thing. I was like, I honestly thought there was a guy that worked at CIB, Ian. I thought I was like, did I lend it to Ian years ago?
No, it was me years ago.
I think you can keep it because there was one that got traded into CIB, so I don't really need it anymore.
It's even better.
Did you ever watch it?
I was watching it with my girlfriend at the time, and she didn't like it, so after a couple episodes...
Well, why don't you watch it now?
Now I can, except actually, I would have to do it, like, not in, like, my room, because I don't have a TV or a Blu-ray player, so... But also, Nicholas has been making my mom basically watch a ton of anime when he's been over.
Why is that so funny?
I'm surprised that Nick
Because I hate it. So maybe I'll put it on.
What anime is he making your mom watch?
Oh my god, it's like Kill la Kill.
What?
Like,
That's pretty cool.
What is that? Is that like...
I don't know.
Is that like high school anime, or is it like...
It's an action one, but it's made... I don't even want to talk about this. Kill la Kill's awesome, but it's like not something that's super easy to recommend.
That's understandable.
It's not mom anime, you know?
Yeah. I feel like your mom would like the cutesy stuff. Whatever's the closest to Disney in anime.
Okay.
What?
I can give you a pretty good example. It's
High School of the Dead.
Miyazaki, I think you called him.
Yeah, Muazaki, got it. Yeah, I mean...
Did you say High School Musical?
No, I said High School of the Dead.
Oh, I don't know.
I think that's one.
Yeah, have your mom watch that. Big swinging boobs constantly.
Dude, half of the animes I know is just obscure stuff traded into CIB where I'm like, oh, look at this. Whenever, like, any ridiculously over-top, with like a bunch of boobs everywhere, I'm like, this looks like a good anime. Or if they have cool names like A Certain Scientific Railgun, I like that. I don't know anything about it, but
have your mom watch an anime called Cat Planet Cuties.
Trev, what's that really cute cat anime where it's just like about like a little cat that is kind of like a
Oh, I know. It's
kind of
like a gray cat. I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
Normal?
No, me and Jordan literally, Jordan Zimmerman used to watch that. What is it called? Dang it.
Yeah, I don't remember.
All it is a cat being cute. That's essentially, it's like if,
Well, Dan, you sold me.
it's like if Marmaduke was an anime. Because Marmaduke, every single one's like, I'm a dog being a dog. That's essentially what it is. It's just a cat being a cat.
Oh, yeah, but there's a crucial element you're missing there, which is that he's very big.
Are you telling me Marmaduke is big?
He's a big dog, and that creates problems for himself and his owner.
Why are there so many cat animes?
What do you mean?
Oh, this is the one.
You know exactly why.
This is the character. Tell me which it is.
I will say one that Nicholas put on that I actually really enjoyed watching was, I believe it was called Ghost Stories. I don't know if you're familiar.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was a good one.
It was the one, I believe it was...
She's Sweet Home. There we go.
Yeah.
I think the episodes are really short too, so it's just like, hey, she's a cat, it wants to eat food. Like, that's like the plot.
I also bet your mom would love Hamtaro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think Nicholas is ever going to show her that. So.
Here's Hamtaro.
Why is your mom taking anime advice from Nick? Like,
Because he's...
Does he sit her down and force her to watch it?
Does he do
She likes
exclusively things that like annoy you?
She likes spending time with her son every weekend that he comes down. And
Mom, let's watch Kill la Kill.
her son just wants to watch anime.
That's so awesome.
I didn't see this turn coming at like however old he is.
I mean,
35.
when my dad's around, the only like I'll be like, yo, watch this with me. It's all old movies, like all before 1950s. Like I was like, I'm watching Rear Window. Do you want to watch it? And he's like, yeah. I would never be like, hey, I'm watching the Castlevania anime. Do you want to watch it with me?
My brother is of the opposite opinion.
Hey, I'm watching Good Girls on Netflix. Do you want to watch it with me, Dad? Oh man, I love that. And I can imagine your mom just going like, "That's nice, Nick. That's nice, honey." Whatever's playing in the background.
She will watch it after he leaves too.
Oh.
And then she'll just be like, I don't understand what's going on. But I'm trying. I'm like, okay.
Yesterday
God bless you, Mom.
at Easter, Trev, Aunt Jenny requested a copy of my book, and I was like explaining it to her, and I was like, it's not really an easy read, and she was like, oh, should I get the Cliff's Notes for it? I was like, just ask Ben when he reads it. She was like, okay. She was like, I don't know if I'll get this, and I was like, that's okay. Here's your signed copy. Enjoy.
She is 100% not ever going to get it.
No! Yeah. Loading screen.
And I say that currently I have just paged through it, looked briefly at a few pages and said, this is not a Mom's kind of thing.
Ben was paging through it and he was like, stage directions, huh? That's literally what he said yesterday. And I was like, yep. Poetry and stage directions, huh? Yep. I was like, this is not an Aunt Jenny book.
Nope.
I wanted to literally tell her, please don't read it.
That was my first guess, but shouldn't the reactor...
Oh, wow.
Ugh.
But if she's watching Kill la Kill, I don't even know anything about it, but if it's called Kill la Kill, she can read a couple chapters of my book.
I don't know why she's indulging him.
Because she loves her son!
Yes, there's that, but also...
Probably Samus, too. Probably Samus is there.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Samus isn't there. Is it a mature rated one?
Samus is there. I don't know if she's watching.
No,
it, though.
Kill la Kill really isn't. I mean, it has some like fan service, but like no nudity or anything.
The first anime that Ash ever
like,
showed
blood a
me,
lot.
literally Elfen Lied, and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's like boobs and blood the anime.
Well, I think in the very first scene, it's just a naked girl blowing up everyone's head with her mind,
it's
and
like-
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it's just a shock value
Yeah.
thing. It's
Although-
like everyone loves Elfen Lied just because I think it was on Toonami or something, but like it was like really prevalent in the late 90s, which is why everyone has
The
nostalgia for
man
it.
with a gun grafted to his arm, describing himself as law-abiding.
That's right.
In my humble opinion,
Second
that
Amendment, yeah.
explosion
Barrett's like a 500-pound dude.
Seriously? I mean, how much is this gun? Like, literally, like 100 pounds?
Yeah,
How
like-
could it be less?
And like muscle is so dense. Like he has to weigh
Yeah.
500 pounds.
No, this is a Japanese anime, so he's somehow gonna be, like, 5'6",
Yeah, you look at his character.
130.
sheet, Yeah.
18 years old.
Blood type O. Negative.
Wait, isn't Cloud, like, 21 in this?
I think so.
Yeah.
Another Japanese trope that they do is like once a woman hits like 30, she looks like she's 65.
Yeah.
Or, like, Tifa's, like, I don't know, she's, like, 21, 22, and she's, like, a grizzled veteran of, like, oh, yeah, we've been on a million missions, and da-da-da. Cloud's like, oh, I was in Soldier, but now I'm not, and he's, like, 22 or
Dude,
something
isn't
like that.
Sid-
21, I'm the
isn't Sid in
bartender
his
of the Seventh
30s?
Heaven.
I think Sid's
I've been
like,
working here for 20 years.
I think Sid's, like, my age.
Yeah,
I'm-
he is.
I'm, like,
Oh my god, he might actually.
we're finding out right now.
Yeah.
Alright, so Sid is... Tell me Final Fantasy Wiki.
What? He might even be in his late 20s.
Age, Final Fantasy VII, 32. I'm older than
Oh my
Sid.
god.
Oh,
And they like characterize him as like being in his mid 50s.
Oh, yeah, he's like, he already rose up to his greatest potential, failed, and is like years past that. So he was like 25 and he was like, I'm just an old man right now. That's amazing. Cloud's 21. This is ridiculous. I think Barrett's in his late 20s. Actually, Barrett's 35.
Wow. That's
wow.
Reasonable.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. That's probably the age I would guess.
And he's 6'6", so if he doesn't weigh 500 pounds...
I
think Eris is like 21 too.
Public security wouldn't have it any other way. Our IDs are impeccable.
Yeah, 22 in Final Fantasy VII.
Have a little faith. Won't be long
And very
till
lastly,
it's brought
Tifa's 22 as well.
Yeah, so
She's like
Oh,
I
you're
opened.
older. That's kind of cool.
She's like, I opened up a bar. I fight with Avalanche. I did all this stuff. I'm 22.
I do literally everything.
I'm like a martial arts master.
Yeah. I can do sweet dolphin kicks.
I think Yuffie's 16, and it's funny, in that 6 years, it goes from Yuffie being, like, a literal, like, child, like, I don't know how the world works, to Tifa being, like, 6 years later being, like, a hardened, grizzled veteran.
Yeah, and Yuffie does some ridiculous stuff in Intergrade, so they're not shy of pretending that everyone's a superhuman.
Oh, man. So, Final Fantasy VII, right?
Yeah.
Home Sweet Slum.
It's chapter 3 already.
I feel like some of the chapter... How many chapters are
Hey,
in this?
Johnny
Like,
was over there. Hey, Marie's right there. That's
hey!
kinda cool.
There's like 20 chapters in this game, maybe?
18, I believe.
18. Some of them are way, way, way longer.
I don't think this LP is going to take like forever, but especially watching all the cutscenes, it's... I mean, playing this game an hour and a half a week, if we do LPs every week, it's going to take a couple months.
There's the Loveless poster. Can't have Final Fantasy.
Trevor, I will
without
not. I will not accept this Let's Play if you don't get the Barrett date in Part 2. I swear to God.
We eventually have to do everything FF7. Oh, by the way, guys, we did a full playthrough of Crisis Core 2 years ago. Spencer did an entire FF7 playthrough.
Cheers.
Where he did all the optional stuff. I think he even did like Gold Chocobo and everything.
I did.
that. You did.
I did
Dirge of Cer-
I did
yeah.
Dirge of Cerberus like 5 years
Oh
ago.
wow, yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Now all you have to do is what's that phone game before Crisis?
before Crisis.
Oh, God.
That's not even like on Android or iPhone. It's on just mobile phone. It's like impossible to emulate.
It's
like
it's
one of those Japanese.
like a Nokia
old-
phone.
Yeah.
Mako is the lifeblood of the
I'm Undercity resident.
What the hell it is. Goddamn eco-warriors with their dumbass posters. I tear them down and they're back up inside of an hour. Like I've got nothing better to do.
Who are you talking to?
Yeah. Why are you
I mean, look at
narrating what you're doing?
You trying to tell me that's not
Also, it's amazing. This NPC doesn't look too bad, but when you look at the model differences between main characters and
Yeah, he
NPCs,
looks bad.
Well, that's because this is like very specific
Yeah.
cutscene.
and this guy actually looks pretty decent for NPCs, which is kind of amazing. But some of them look pretty bad.
Also, he's gone.
Yeah, see ya. It whispers. So I think the point of the whispers showing up the first time was for them to get for Cloud to get noticed by Shinra to do the train escape thing again. Anyway, we're done in a couple minutes. We're just gonna watch like a cutscene.
Oh, Ben, Wall Market is everything you want it to be in this game.
Yeah, they
It's
go.
actually pretty friggin' big too.
They go ham on Wall Market and add a bunch of stuff.
I have no problems with it.
Can't wait.
But yeah, we're talking about things that are happening 2 months from now.
Seriously. Hey, baby.
Oh, an actual baby, child.
Tifa, ultimate waifu.
That's right, Angel. I am. Have you been a good girl?
Yeah, I've been helping Tifa.
Oh, you did you? Well, well.
You made it. Where did you get that? I can't remember the last time I saw a real one.
Literally pure anime eyes.
When did you get so thoughtful?
Yellow flower lost.
No!
It has been 5 years.
Huh?
Do you guys remember from 17 to 22 how
Come on in.
how much more like better you were as a person? Like a huge difference, right?
No, I barely changed.
That's the point.
I've been the same person since I was 14.
Basically,
Let's go!
If anything, I've gotten dumber. And worse.
Do you mind keeping Marlene company?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Dude, there's so much voice acting in this game. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's so many cutscenes, so much voice acting. Like, you can definitely see where they put the years of development into.
Scaring my daughter like that.
What the hell?
says never talk to strangers.
That's right, honey. I do say that. What a good girl you are remembering Daddy's lessons. You know what else good girls do? They go to bed on time. Come on.
I wish my daughter did that.
Talk some more, Daddy.
She never goes to bed on time.
Right.
Or listens to you ever.
So then, what can I get you?
My money. I'm still waiting.
Trash can, please.
Right. About that, we should talk outside.
I need my extra
Alright, I
1,000
got the
gil.
quad here.
Boys and ghouls?
What's gonna happen with the money? What does Tifa mean when
I just
we
want
need
to show
talk
this.
outside?
So we're gonna go to title screen. This is the power of the PS5. So we're gonna load that save file. 1
Oh
second.
God, yes.
Literally 1 second.
I love that.
It's the best thing about the PS5 and the Series X, but thank God hard disk drives are dead in consoles. Okay.
Hey Ben, long live solid states.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell it's 11 p.m. on a Monday night.
Ben's an old man.
I am.
Ben also gets up early for work, I think.
Yeah, I have to get up at like 6.
Nice.
I also get up at 6, but that's just because I like sleep 5 hours a night for some reason. Okay, bye.
Good night, everyone.